RingGangRadio.com. Take over. Last mission. Final boss mode.
Yeah. What's good, yo? Welcome to another episode of Real Talk, where, as always, if shit's real, we talk about it. I'm your host for this evening, Pat Scorpion, the New England representative, and as always, I got my man with me. I'm gonna let him introduce himself.
Yo, what it do is Shuttleworth the God, aka the GOAT artist, LB Lauderdale Balls, RingGangRadio.com in the building. Let's go.
Yes, sir. Ringing in the house forever and always, and as always, I got my other man with me. I'm gonna let him introduce himself.
Hey yo, what's good, yo? You know who this is, your boy King P, Bodega Boxing in the building. Ring Gang Radio all day, let's go.
Hey, P is straight from the sewer, except, of course, he's above ground today, taking it easy on his day off. Is that correct, P?
Yeah, no Subways for me except for the sandwiches, man. I'm done. I'm good. It's a Sunday for me. Chill.
Exactly, no crime fighting, no having to get rid of rats, snitching rats especially. Just rats in general just need to be getting rid of, because, we don't like rats here at Ring Gang Radio. So, as usual, though, we salute you for your service, keeping our city safe from all the reprobates out there. And last, but certainly not least, I got my other man with me. I'm going to let him introduce himself.
Hey, what's fly? It's your boy Conscious Pilot, a.k.a. the West Coast Avenger, the numero uno contender, preparing for liftoff. Destination Ring Gang Radio. It's good fucking fly, man.
Hey, yo, he put some Spanish today. Now we bilingual now, aren't we? Shit. That's what it is, man. Conscious Pilot stays elevated above the clouds, you dig? That's if he's not sleeping on them. Just understand that, but but yeah, man, we definitely got, we got some stuff to talk about. But one thing I definitely gotta make clear again. You promoters out there, learn how to space your fucking fights out in 2022, okay? There is no reason. I've never seen in my life 4 boxing cards going on before noontime on a Saturday. I've never seen that before in all my years of watching fighting. Never. And y'all gotta, and it wasn't like y'all, it continued, there was always fights going on all the way up to 1 o'clock in the fucking morning. Now, it's y'all gotta learn to space out your fucking cards. Even us hardcores have a limit. Seriously.
And see, when they're not compelling matchups, it kind of feels like a chore.
Yeah, to a degree, yes.
Because especially with, you had ESPN with a bunch of damn showcase fights before the main event, and the main event wasn't like some compelling event like that.
No. And then the Probellum shit, which I'm going to give Probellum a couple of fights, a couple of cards before I start really making judgment on them. But Probellum, on Access, you can find a different time and a day for that one too, If you can hold it in Dubai and show it on American TV, then Schaefer can hold it on some other fucking day of the week, and shit like that. So yeah, it's there's no need to, I know it's the end of the year, but there's no need to push everything in one fucking weekend. Nothing's going on Christmas. You can space some shit out there. Nothing's going on New Year's no more. Triple G's fight is canceled. Plan better. But we do have our recaps, for the most part, there was definitely enough notable fights to talk about. And honestly, the biggest fight of the weekend was based off, impact and buzz and whatnot, was Vasyl Lomachenko versus Richard Commey. Before we go into that fight, I like what Top Rank did with its undercard per se. With the exception of one fight. Like I said, I think if you watch the undercard, Jared Anderson, dude, I think is starting to get it, because dude came out there looking like a Mac Extra and shit, looking on some pretty
Pimp C. It was a Pimp C outfit. Had the whole Pimp C outfit, top to bottom.
And then he even had the King and dude start, walking with a limp to the ring. I was like, okay, that shit had the buzzing. And the funny thing is too, it wasn't forced; it was natural. It seemed like it wasn't that forced. It wasn't forced if we actually tried to talk a little pimpish or whatever. But but at least he got in the ring and he got rid of his opponent like he was supposed to. Like Teslenko was no match for him, and dude took a shot to the temple and he was gone. Like he didn't want to fight no more. And then Keyshawn Davis looks every bit the blue chip prospect. Dude's gonna do something in the pros. Like I dug his performance, but the performance I didn't dig is the one that they kept on repeating over and over and over again since they won Nico Ali wash.
Here it goes.
Yeah, like I said before, man. Like none of us have anything against Nico Ali. Like he's a personable young man, but y'all got to stop mentioning his grandfather Muhammad Ali every 10 minutes or so, maybe even more frequent than that on a TR broadcast. Like, first of all, he's already fighting with a name that's like impossible to live up to. He's had we've had three other boxing Alis, in history outside of Muhammad Ali that related to him. And Layla Ali thankfully at least did actually break through for what she is, and it was cool, whatever. But we understand that Top Rank was built off Muhammad Ali, but y'all gotta stop. Y'all gotta build him up slow. And then his fight with Sanchez is a perfect example of why, because he doesn't have much of an amateur career.
Yeah, he had a Campbell Hatton fight.
He did. And the funny thing too is he won the first 2 rounds, especially the second round. Second round was like he was about ready to get rid of dude, but he gassed. And then Sanchez was hitting him with all types of retarded shots too. Like it wasn't even like every time dude started swinging, he hit something. Uppercuts, overhands, and Nico didn't do anything. Nico couldn't adjust to anything, and he couldn't adjust to no movement. Like this is stuff. This is stuff like, man, like I think I need to, dial back on dude, because, he could have gotten it. No, he didn't win, but he didn't lose. That should have been a draw. He didn't win the last 2 rounds. So it was disgusting to me that one of the judges actually gave him a 40-36 for that fight. And that didn't happen. So like Nico Ali washed, man, like I said, good guy, but yeah, Bob, you might want to kind of pull back on him and don't put him on any main cards. Like put him on the undercard. Like let that dude develop off camera before you run into a motivated jobber who doesn't think he's a jobber. And and Sanchez, I think he's Mexican too, if I'm not mistaken. And we just had a rant about Mexican journeymen and French contenders not fighting the way they're supposed to be. So yeah, like y'all need to really dial back on Nico Ali Wash, because he didn't win that fight and he didn't look good either. So, and then we have the main event, Vasyl Lomachenko and Richard Commey. Now, when we did predictions, I think I was the only one that put respect on Commey's name and said he wasn't going to get knocked out. I am happy that didn't happen, because I was like, you know what? Like,
man, that fight could have been stopped a long time ago.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie to you. You absolutely right. Like it could have
lost his brain cells for 12 rounds.
Yeah. Instead of pointing to his corner, like, yo, stop this. Maybe you should take matters into your own hands and stop this. Not every trainer is Kenny Porter.
Yeah, that's also true. And it also set up like a debate too. Did Lomachenko just take his foot off the gas, or did Lomachenko was just able to actually get rid of dude? Personally, I think it's a little bit of both. I think he did take his foot off the gas a little bit, because I think he didn't really want to scramble his brains. But at the same time, he didn't get into a position again to actually. He let Commey recover enough, and Lomachenko just couldn't do anything with him anymore. Like I don't think Loma's that great of a finisher, and this kind of just proves it to me. He got all his wins, all his knockouts by his opponents quitting. But every time he tries to put his foot on the gas, like he can't just get them out of it. So I don't think he's that great of a finisher. I think that has to do with it, to me personally. He's had his moments. The last fight with Nakatani, dude was vicious as anything. Like that was a vicious stoppage, and then, but But then after that, you are right. Like probably the only other fight that I can remember of him being like he got rid of dude was Rocky Martinez, and that was Rocky Martinez who was he was gone by then.
Yeah, he had been through so many wars by then, man.
Yeah. There's the Krolla fight too, but Krolla's not anyone that's really. I wouldn't brag about that one. But yeah. Commey should have been out of there. Like I definitely won't disagree with you guys on that. But the funny thing too is I think Lomachenko he took more punishment after he let off after gas too, because you saw dude's face. Dude was lumped up like something serious. Commey's power was everything. Like Commey was hitting him with some shit. And another narrative that they kept on pushing that was kind of annoying me too, that was saying like this motherfucker wasn't a lightweight. He's a lightweight.
A unified champion at lightweight.
Yeah, like
these dudes make it like these dudes is making so much excuses. Oh well, then it was the shoulder. Yeah, like come on, bro. Like y'all make too many excuses for this guy.
Right, like, and like say, Lomachenko is talented. Like, I can say, I'm not a fan of Lomachenko's fighting style or whatever, but I can see that there's talent. Like, dude has enough quality victories in the divisions he's operated in. Like, you don't need all this extra shit. They can say, oh yeah, he's downloading the opponent's information. Stop that shit. No, sometimes he's human. Like he struggles with opponents just like every other fighter. It's like. They keep making excuses for him and everything like that, and it's just like it kind of belays like the type of talent that the dude has. But like I said, he did put his foot in Commey's ass though. Like for the first 7-8 rounds, like that was what was happening. Like Commey didn't have anything for him, which was surprising. Like he made Commey. I know
it wasn't surprising, nigga. We all said he was gonna get his ass kicked, and he got his ass kicked.
Now it's just the more because usually in his fights, like Commey's footwork was never out. Maybe I just never noticed it because either dude would be blasting these guys to like out of there or whatnot. But Lomachenko's movement had this dude like stumbling and walking around the ring like he had 2 left feet. Like dude had nothing for him. Really, he was just tough. He was just too tough for his own good.
Body shots.
The body shots.
And the occasional hook that land upstairs.
Yeah. Both of them actually landed some good body shots on each other. But Commey, Commey, the body shots affected him first. Like dude couldn't do anything. Like after a couple rounds, he was just like he tried though. Like that's all you can ask. Like he tried to make a fight of it, and like I said, he made a better fight of it after he got knocked down. But he just it was just a wide victory for Lomachenko. So it keeps him in the mix. But I don't know if that's the type of fight that will allow you.
People at lightweight, there's better fights it could have made.
You right too. But it's funny. I think it's funny now how they're going like, okay, yeah, you know what? Yeah, I want Kambosos now. And then Bob's like, you know what? Maybe the WBO might make him the mandatory now.
Fuck that. If that fight gets ordered, I will be okay with Kambosos dropping the belt. Nah, fuck that.
It'd be irritating because Lomachenko needs to fight a liver body. If he wants to really get back in the mix, fucking make a fight with Devin Haney like you were supposed to when you were.
Yeah, that's like right now. That's the only fight that I want to see him at lightweight right now. Like Haney, Loma, like that's a fight to make. Like I felt like he should have went straight to Haney after the Nakatani fight because the difference, at least Nakatani had a more of a win coming into that fight. He had an upset,
right? But
then also he never been stopped before. Like Commey, even though he kind of came back and had a solid performance, he was upset by the nigga who beat you. Like, what you trying to?
Yeah,
like, was KO'd. I'm sorry.
Well, but if you let Loma tell it, it was a lucky punch. It was just a lucky punch.
Yeah,
he landed a whole shitload of lucky punches on Commey and couldn't get him out of there.
Yes, sir. Yeah, so Commey.
Yeah, this performance don't really move me like that. Like this is like Bob Abrams' damn version of Charlo Montiel or something.
Right. Well, I wouldn't say. I mean, Commey at least is a former world champion. At least he has some wins.
Yeah, I mean, it looks a little better, but you know, when you look at the time in their career, you know.
Right.
Although some people just overrated Commey a little bit. I've seen some people say, well, Commey is the lightweight version of Sean Porter. I'm just like, what?
Stop.
Nah.
I no lie. I saw that last night, and I was like, you got to be kidding.
Yeah, no, that's definitely that's definitely hyperbole.
That sounds like a Terrence Crawford fan would say something like that.
Actually, no. The person that says this is actually an Errol Spence fan, which is even funnier.
Wow, that's even worse.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
I can't even see somebody saying, damn.
Yeah, no, but I mean,
I think it's better put respect on Sean Porter name.
Yeah, I mean,
the Sean Porter, stop.
Yeah, but at least Commey, like I said, I mean, with a beating like that, I mean, Commey probably needs a little bit of rest because, like I said, he got hands put on him. Like, this was probably, I'd say probably, I wouldn't say it was a worse beating he got from Lopez. I mean, at least Lopez ended that shit early, you know. But Lomachenko really put hands on that dude for 12 rounds, so it's like, yeah,
and even then, he was more competitive than Nakatani.
That's also true. That's also true. Too.
I don't remember Nakatani landing anything.
Yeah, Nakatani. It was. Yeah, I don't know what he was on some other shit.
Real hard on Loma.
Yeah, so I mean, Lomachenko. Yeah, like if you want, I mean, yeah. There's no more jobber fights. Like you got to fight. You got to fight someone of notoriety. Like you got.
And I really don't care for Kambosos fight with Loma right now.
Right. Because there's a lot of things too. Like first of all, Kambosos has Haney. Like if like that should be the fight. You know, Kambosos versus Tank, Kambosos versus somebody. Like Kambosos deserves a fight more than Lomachenko. Like at this point,
if it was me, if it was a perfect world and I could just control what fights I want to see, and no fuckery would happen, everything would just happen. Like it'll probably be Lomachenko, Haney. Mm-hmm. And Kambosos and Tank.
Oh yeah. And of course wishful thing would be like,
Mr. Potato Head said he has been in contact with Lou DiBella about Kambosos, so who knows? Ooh. Maybe we good yet.
Well, of course, yeah. Because why? Because Kambosos is a free agent, and you know, and he's not politically bound. Because anything else, Mr. Potato Head would be like, oh no, we're keeping it in house.
He's not across the street, technically.
Yeah.
Yeah, so, we across the biggest street in the world, though.
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah, so, but yeah, though, lightweight is still a very interesting division. But yeah, Lomachenko, he's got to give me some more, man. You gotta fight somebody a little bit more. You know.
Yeah, like I don't feel like you're worthy for fighting for all the belts. We'll give you one belt. Yeah, fight Haney, nigga.
Yeah.
the one belt you know. You wanted to email the defense out.
Exactly. You know, I mean, if you
finish that up, you know, undisputed before that feels tainted.
Right. Exactly. You know, make the fight. You know, if you want to face Ryan Garcia, at least you want to get Ryan Garcia out of the way or some shit like that. Like, you know, somebody.
I still like the Kambosos damn Ryan Garcia fight. In that moment, Garcia was dropped by Campbell, and he was worried, and he had that uncertainty, insecure type of moment where he didn't know how this is going to play out, and Campbell, you know, fumbled the bag, and then it jumped on him.
Yeah,
like I like to see what happens when a real fighter's fighter, you know, gets Ryan Garcia in that position again.
Exactly.
Because Kambosos is gonna be all over dude if that happens. I feel like Tank, anybody else will jump on that moment. So I don't know, you get like classic boxing out of that.
Yeah, no, for sure, for sure. You know, but of course Ryan Garcia, it remains to be seen. You know, dude does a lot of talking on social media, but you know he hasn't announced one motherfucking fight. And Golden Boy already, you know, they already got their shit ironed out with the Zone for another 3 years. So. You know, it's only a matter of time. You know, he needs to get a fucking fight. Like he wasn't injured. He just had no heart. Like it's 3 more weeks and it'll be a full year he hasn't fought. It's fucking ridiculous.
He need to fight Haney.
Yeah, exactly.
That ain't happening. Him and Isak Cruz are going back and forth right now.
Oh wow!
And truthfully, I would reckon I wouldn't even mind seeing that fight if that was the case.
Neither. I wouldn't mind either.
Yeah.
Between him or Jojo Diaz, who's still lurking in the wings, like yeah, like
Isaac Cruz and fucking Jojo Diaz would be a fight of the year.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. See, lightweight has a potential of being the next division to take it to the next level, but just has to the right pieces need to be moving. It has
like a little bit of shade of 154 with a sprinkle of 147 egos.
Exactly.
With 160 politics, like
facts.
And it's like when you put all that in a bag and shake it up, it's like you get 135. Where like semi-significant fights happen.
Yeah, facts. Because it's like the 135 has too many fighters in their primes right now that still need to mix it up. And like I said, 135 can really take boxing into the next year or whatever. But yeah, so it might just be some other pieces in 135 need to fall in order for that to happen. But it was a good little card that Top Rank had, so I wasn't disappointed.
I think Jared Anderson was the biggest winner that night.
He was.
I think he's gonna. I think now we could officially start touting him as the next great American heavyweight. Like potentially, like. Mm-hmm. I mean, he's shown us.
I've been convinced for a minute he's the next one up.
But see, now he's getting guys with the last year or so he's been fighting guys with like winning records, and he's still been doing the same thing to him.
Right.
Whereas you had guys like Wilder who really fought the same type of fighters for like a good 30-some fights.
Yeah.
You could argue because he debuted on the undercard for Jeff Lacey versus Jermaine Taylor.
He did.
Argue that Wilder has fought the same type of opponents that debut that night for like the first 20-some fights.
Mm-hmm.
So look at Jared Anderson, 11 fights, and they already got him against guys who, 17-1 and shit.
Right. And Wilder was a bronze medalist too, which is even more kind of crazy when you think about it.
yeah, exactly.
So.
Well, I mean, I think Jared needs to. I mean, his defense has a little bit of. I mean, he gets hit, but it's heavyweight, so one crack could crack the egg.
Yeah, no, I mean,
most of these heavyweights don't have the best. Aside from Fury, everybody else kind of has some shaky defense for the most part.
Everybody get hit.
That's the truth.
I thought Brian Jennings had decent defense though.
Yeah, his defense was pretty decent, especially compared to heavyweights.
Yeah.
You're right. Heavyweight defense, we kind of grade them on a curve.
Right. Yeah.
Right. Not everyone is Chris Bird out there.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like if you had number 10 was Chris Bird and like 0 was like, let me see, fuck. Like okay, number 5 was like Monty Barrett.
Good lord.
0 would be wow, like
Kaunaki.
Yeah. Yes.
Most of these guys, they're around the damn 5-6 range.
Yeah.
Monte Barrett, let me see. That mid-range craftiness, sometimes he's, you could get me sometimes, but you gotta earn it.
Right. There's not a lot of,
Fury's like a 8.
Yeah.
There's definitely not a lot of slick fighting heavyweights out there at their best. Like some have some good mid-range skills, like Joshua does, but he's still, his issues aren't really defensive. Really, they're just more like he just doesn't fight to a man of his size. Like
as much as he been getting hit, that shit defensive too.
A little bit.
I think it was getting like comboed up in that damn Usyk fight.
Well, yeah, because he met a superior boxer. You know what I'm saying? So,
He didn't turn into the superior, bigger nigga like he was supposed to.
Facts. I can't even front on that. You know,
I
that's
think he's
facts.
supposed to fight angry and be like, bro, fuck this. But
Yeah.
he fought like the crowd for the bone 3-6 versus.
And I also want to see Keyshawn Davis fight at least 4 times next year, or 3 to 4 times next year, definitely.
Oh, I'm sure that's going to happen. Yeah,
Right now he should be fighting 3-4 times.
Yeah, like one thing Top Rank does is Top Rank does know how to keep their prospects moving, at least.
You're good to your first title, then after that you got to reevaluate your contract with them.
Right, exactly.
If you're a certain ethnic group or from a certain country, or if you just fall in the line of certain things, you might not become a superstar.
Unless, of course, you're related to Muhammad Ali.
Yeah,
That's a little different.
If you're a wasp.
Yeah.
First name's Nico.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But it was a good Top Rank card, so I wasn't even mad at it, for what it was.